Now, if you're a Squarespace user, you already know this platform has been making updates all year long. But this one is huge. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down Squarespace's new Fluid Engine Editor, what it is and what it means for your business. Now, before I dive in, it's important to note that if you're on Squarespace 7.0 or a previous version, you don't have to worry about this. It is only applicable to Squarespace 7.1 users.
Tell me everything!
Okay, so what's the big change? Well, this new Fluid Engine Editor replaces the classic editor. We all know Squarespace as this easy to use, intuitive, drag and drop platform, but it's kind of limited. It's got these parameters around it, like we get to decide if we want it large, medium, or small width. We can put content on the page, but we have to move things around using the spacer bar. The biggest complaint I get on this channel is that people have to use that spacer block to move content around. Well, Squarespace were clearly listening because this new upgrade removes all of that and turns Squarespace into fully drag and drop. So let's head on over to the computer and I'll show you exactly what this looks like. Now, if you happen to be a Circle member, you can go to Settings, scroll down to Circle Labs, and you'll see here you have the option to opt in or opt out of the new Fluid Engine Editor. And you will have this option to opt out until December 2022, so basically the end of the year. Now, if you are not a Squarespace Circle member, you're automatically going to be opted into the new Fluid Engine Editor, but all of your pages and sections will remain on the classic editor until you upgrade them. So if we hit edit on any page here, you'll see this is the new Fluid Engine Editor, but if I scroll down to this section, I'm using the classic editor, and you'll see there's this option to upgrade in the top left hand corner. Now, if I hit upgrade, I can't revert back once I hit done and save. If I start to make some changes and decide I don't like it, I can hit Control and Z and that will revert it back to the classic editor. But as soon as you hit done and save, you can't go back. So what I recommend here is that you add a new page in the not linked section and use that to familiarize yourself with the new editor until you're comfortable upgrading your current sections. Now, if you want to continue using the classic editor, what I recommend is duplicating sections that are already on it and you already have this. You can duplicate the section or you can duplicate the page because like I said, once you convert it, you can't go back. And if you add any new section, once the Fluid Engine Editor has been rolled out on your website, you will be using the new editor. You won't be able to use the classic editor. So let me show you how this works. As you see here, this is a new Fluid Engine Editor. If I start to move anything on this page, you see I can just drag and drop it now. Unlike before where we'd have to use spacers, this is fully drag and drop. I can drag it all the way to the edge here. So if I click and I align this to the left, it's now full bleed. I can have content right to the edge of my website. I can layer images if I want, or any content, but say I wanted to layer images, I could do that here, and then I can adjust the order by clicking these buttons here. I can also drag and move around multiple items if I want. Let me try that again. So if we drag this, I can now drag everything over if I wanted to. I'll just move that back over here for now. And if I click on text, if I click on this and I click the pencil icon, I can now add a background if I want, and I can also give it a radius and adjust the padding. So there's a lot of changes going on here. And you'll see as I start to move this grid appears at the background, and that's what you're going to use to adjust your placement and make sure things are aligned correctly and look good on the page. Now, if we want to add a new content block, we can add a block here. Say we add some text. We just add text in here. And what I can do is I can make it the width of the text box. And like I said, I can drag it around. I can adjust the size here. I can also click on any element and drag and drop it by the corner to adjust the size, like this. And if we click on the page section, if I click this edit section, under format, you'll see you can now adjust these rows that you're seeing in the background. So you can make more rows or less. You can also adjust it with this little blue toggle down here as well. You can adjust the gap. So if you want no gap, if you want to be able to place it this way. So this is again how you're going to align your content. You can decide if you want it to fill the screen or not. And you can adjust the alignment and height. Now the background in color remains the same. The other thing I want to draw your attention to, if I just click delete for this now, is if we click on a mobile view, you now have a lot more control over mobile devices. Now this is a blessing, but it's also tricky when you're just getting started, because as you see, before, Squarespace automatically made things work on mobile devices. You wouldn't get this sort of layering effect where this button is overlaying the text and so it's not readable or usable. So we have to go in and we have to click this mobile device and then adjust it for mobile. So I would just have to come in here and drag this down. Now what is great is you can adjust the placement of things. So if I move this over here and say I want to move this over here and down, and then I go back to desktop, it's not going to affect how things look on desktop. I've just adjusted the view for a mobile device. Now, there's a couple things I want to note here with spacing. It's very buggy right now. As much as this can look good on a mobile device and it can look good on desktop, there's not really been any accounting for different tablet devices. And so say something works here, you have to go through and figure out a way to check it on a tablet device because the spacing can be a little glitchy. It also isn't perfect for screen readers. So here we can adjust the placement by dragging and dropping it. Now things are going to appear in the order you added them to the page, not in terms of the content placement. So on a typical device, if you added this to the top, and you added this in the middle and you added this at the bottom, that's how it would appear on a mobile device. But if you added your text in first and then you added a button and then you added the image, this would appear in this order like this. And that's how it's going to be read by a screen reader as well. So Squarespace, again, they haven't accounted for this glitch. It might impact your desire to upgrade to the new Fluid Engine Editor versus keeping your classic pages for now. I would assume they will fix that in due time. So those are the main features that we're seeing. There's going to be updates, definitely going to be updates. It's still glitchy, it's still buggy, and it's not perfect for all users, but this is what it looks like. This is definitely going to be the future of Squarespace, and the nice thing about it is that it is a truly drag and drop platform, so you have a lot more control and you're able to customize it in a lot more detail. Now this is a big change, especially if you're used to using the classic editor with Squarespace. And the big question is, should you upgrade, right? Should you upgrade your pages? Should you upgrade your sections? And my best recommendation here would be to hold off just for now. Let Squarespace sort of iron out some of those bugs, make sure that it works cleanly on tablet devices too and is accessible. But what I do recommend is that you start to play with it. So go to your not linked section, add a page, and just play around and familiarize yourself with the new editor so that when you are ready to upgrade, it's a sort of seamless transition. Now the other big thing here is, as much as this is a big update for Squarespace users, it's also a big update for Squarespace designers, educators, template creators, plugin developers. And so over the next few months, we'll be looking at ways that we can adapt our offer to best serve your needs and work with this new Fluid Engine Editor. So with that in mind, if you have any tutorial requests, anything you want help with, please leave it in the comments section. I'm here to help and guide you through this transition to the new Fluid Engine Editor. If you liked this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe even hit that subscribe button. You never know, the next video might be even better than this one. And if you want even more help with launching your Squarespace website, website, head on over to squareduptosell.com, where I have a free 45-minute training waiting for you that is designed to help you launch your Squarespace website this week. Even if you're not a designer, even if you don't know code, even if the whole thing terrifies you, no more procrastination. We're getting it done. I hope to see you there. Until next time, have a beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you again real soon.